Hey everyone, I'm Lucy.
And I'm Tamoor.
And we're here to break down the season 5 episode of Black Mirror, Smithereens.
We have delved deep into this episode and pulled out every relevant bit of information, and we're going to give you those Easter eggs. And we've got some notes.
A ton of them.
Which we'll be referencing regularly because there's a lot of Easter eggs and we want to make sure that we're on point with them. So if you haven't seen the episode, make sure to go watch it. And if you have, settle in because we're about to blow your little mind. Probably. So the first thing we hear is a voice trying to calm you and soothe you.
It sounds familiar. I don't know if it actually is him.
This is unconfirmed. It just sounds a lot like Andy from Headspace.
Notice how your breathing continues, all by itself.
We've got Hot Priest / Moriarty. If you haven't seen Fleabag, you should watch it. And Andrew Scott's in it. He's fantastic in it. Oh, watch Fleabag over Sherlock any day of the week. He's playing a kind of Chris G, this cab driver, and he's using an Uber / Lyft-esque app. It's called Hitcher. And he's sat waiting on, if you look at his map, he's on Skillane Street. So Skillane is the surname of the character from White Bear, who was involved, sadly, in the murder of the child.
So we're in 2018 in London. It's rare to get an actual dated episode.
Yeah.
So people who create timelines, like you.
Oh, this is my job.
This is going to be a great time for you. So Chris is parked outside the Smithereens building and picks up someone, and she's going to Old Street.
Hey, I know that place.
Which is where our office is based.
That's where we're stood right now.
Yep.
And the Silicon Roundabout.
Yeah.
It's sadly called that.
That's a big part of why that's relevant, I think. It's like it's an up-and-coming kind of tech area.
Gentrified.
Yeah, gentrified.
Part of East London.
Yeah, and every time there's a Black Mirror installation, it's usually here.
Yeah.
Last time it happened,
so there was a whole takeover of the station for season 4.
Yeah.
And then for Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch, Charlie Brooker was there. We spoke to him for a bit.
You met Charlie Brooker.
I kind of have a weird close connection to Charlie Brooker because he used to work for Future, PC Zone, where I also used to work, and we have mutual friends and that kind of business, so conflict of interest, ?
Leave that in. Leave that in.
So after that, Chris kind of has a one-night stand with someone who he meets in grief counselling, and after they do the dirty, she pulls out her vape. And
I made this note.
She describes it as undignified, which, as someone who vapes, kiss my ass.
That was undignified. So after they get together and they talk about vaping, we get our first glimpse at Persona, which is another social network. It's very much like Facebook.
Yeah, it has the same like silhouette that you see on the app when you get a friend request or whatever, so it's very much supposed to be evoking that. So then we see Chris is back at his job and we get a good look at the actual map, and there's quite a few references there. We see Fence's Pizza.
Yep, so Fence's Pizza is the van from Crocodile that runs over that guy that sparks off the insurance claim.
Yep, we see Ryman's store, which is Men Against Fire. We see Bandersnatch Theatre. Perfect.
Ooh, I wonder if you get to pick your own...
Popcorn!
I was going to say, pick your own adventure in the play that you see. Didn't really work out. Unless it's like the theatre from Futurama. It's like, if you'd like to see Calculon do his taxes, press A.
If you want Calculon to double-check his paperwork, press 2. Enter now. You have pressed 2.
No, I didn't.
I'm almost positive you did.
So then another name drop, Redfield Theatre, which you may know as Cooper Redfield.
Or Chris or Claire.
Whatever. Take a pick.
Take a pick, which Redfield.
Doll's Shoes.
So Doll is a supporting character from Hated in the Nation.
And then Huck's Bar, which is a nice
That's
nod
a
to Charlie Brooker's wife, Connie Huck, a.k.a. Connie Huck from Blue Peter.
Yeah, she also wrote an episode of Black Mirror in the first season.
She was in here a few weeks ago giving a speech. Collusion? ?
Are you serious? Connie Huck was here?
Yes.
So it's here that Chris actually picks up someone who does work at Smithereen, the intern Jaden. And Jaden's going to, well, he says he's going to San Francisco. I noted that down. I mean, it turns out that he's only just going to the airport, really.
Yeah.
But he's talking about going to San Francisco, and I made a note of it because it is obviously the home of tech wank startups like Smithereen and Persona and Facebook and Twitter.
So then we get to see a giant tech wank starter board, notification
Inside
board.
Smithereens.
Inside Smithereens. And there's just loads of like tweets or whatever
Yeah.
this world's.
This was a-
What is this world's tweets called? Smithers? Smithers?
Smithers? What's the meaning of this slacking off?
This was a pain in the ass to look at
Oh, yeah.
because I had to like pause it and zoom in. Do you want to just, well, let's go through these one by
Yeah,
one.
so the first one is my favorite, which is ready for 3 fire emojis. Tonight, question mark. AOX, which is Ashley O concert in Wembley, I guess.
Yes. We get a tweet, a Smithers from UKN, breaking news. So UKN is the Black Mirror in-universe news outlet that helps us when we make timeline videos, tie everything together. They are smithering Prime Minister Callow to meet with EU negotiators in Brussels. So Prime Minister Callow, you will remember as he who fornicated with a pig in the national anthem.
Yeah.
And I just like this one because it clearly means that Brexit exists in the Black Mirror universe too, because we are living in the darkest timeline.
After that, we get a teasy smither from Saito Gemu, which says 6-hour warning, can you wait?
And then
Which
it's
is
at someone.
at someone, which presumably is them announcing their version of Nintendo Direct because everyone's doing it this year.
Yeah, state of play.
Yeah.
And then we get some trending Smithers. So hashtag Saito Gemu announcement, which I assume is
Striking Vipers.
Striking Vipers
Yeah.
X. We get hashtag Saito X Netflix. Is that going to be like Saito Gemu are doing? Is this a call out to a future Black Mirror, another interactive episode like Bandersnatch?
I just looked at the next one, which is my favorite. Hashtag Bargain Hunt, which is a really boring but strangely compelling BBC show.
Is not boring.
About,
How
I
dare
mean,
you.
it is very boring, but like you will be glued to the screen the entire time as old people very slowly tell you about stuff they're buying.
Yes, and then you try and sell it to profit.
Yeah.
Hashtag Gogglebox is another UK TV show which is people watching TV and then you watch people watch TV. It's
wild.
Inception is very good.
And then hashtag Sea of Tranquility reboot, which was mentioned in the Ashley O episode, which I'm convinced will be a future animated episode of Black Mirror.
Just message your mate Charlie and ask. Bloody hell. We get hashtag delete persona. So people are obviously rising up against the Facebook-esque site.
And then hashtag Tucker, which is Tucker Soft, I guess.
Yep, from Bandersnatch. Hashtag St. Juniper Strike. You do wonder why they're striking. Is it because they've realised that all the stuff they're doing there is highly unethical?
And then we get the most accurate representation of what Twitter is actually like. Hashtag Oink Oink Callow, which is just someone firing shots at Callow, which is fair enough.
Hashtag Snout Rages is my favourite. That was the other one.
He's not going to be able to live that one down ever, is he?
How can you? Then we have the receptionist looking at her Smithereen profile. So the profile is actually set to Hilary Connell, which is actually the actress's name in real life. No expense spared there. This one was kind of difficult to look at because it was quite small.
Yeah.
So there are more hashtags here. So there's hashtag the system. Fight against it, man. Hashtag Hotshot, which is the TV show from 15 Million Merits. We've got hashtag Clayton Lee, who is the guy from Black Museum. Hashtag Granular, the company behind the little robot drone things in Hated in the Nation. You got hashtag Compliance. So another thing from 15 Million Merits, it's the drink that they make you have to kind of make you malleable and compliant. And then on her feed, Rose Noble works in the art department. There's a lot of little call-outs like this to people who work on Black Mirror throughout this episode.
And then we have another name dump, quite a few relevant, important names here. It's in Miriam's phone as she's like debating whether to call the US, which is such a US company move.
Yep.
Abby Khan, 15 Million Merits. Carlton Bloom, who's the artist from National Anthem. And there's Kerry from Black Museum. Clayton Lee from Black Museum. Daly.
I assume it's Robert Daly.
From USS Callister.
That makes sense because he works obviously at a huge tech company. They obviously all know each other, running those circles.
Greta from White Christmas.
Yep.
And Hector from Shut Up and Dance.
I do wonder why she has Hector's phone number because he's like a gross boy who's cheated on his wife, isn't he?
Everyone's got a gross boy that's cheated on their wife in their phone somewhere. It's just me. Am I the guy? No. Jamie Salter from The Waldo Moment.
Yep.
Karen Park from Hated in the Nation. Kelly from San Junipero. Kenny from...
The main kid from Shut Up and Dance.
Yeah, Shut Up and Dance.
But why would you have that kid in your phone?
Yeah, exactly. Liam from The Entire History of You. Martha from Be Right Back. And Matt from White Christmas.
We also have a bunch more. So As well as characters in Black Mirror in this, you have a ton of people who've worked on Black Mirror in some capacity. So you've got, the assistant editor on Bandersnatch, you've got production assistants, you've got people who work in VFX, runners, accounting department, all of this. So amongst the Black Mirror characters are the Black Mirror crew. Other notable members, Cooper, so he's the main guy from Playtest. So this is his second reference in this episode alone. Dr. Peter Dawson, who is Dr. Payne, we saw in Black Museum. Dudani, who is the guy from USS Callister. Ian Rannoch, who is one of the murderers from White Bear. Lacey, who I assume is Lacey Pound, Bryce Dallas Howard's character from Nosedive. Michael Callow, she has the Prime Minister's number in her phone.
This is weird.
What a contact list.
I mean, she does work at a company that has all these numbers.
Yeah.
And it's probably like, I'm just going to add all these people.
I can get you verified on Smithereens if you give me your number.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got Nanette, who also is from USS Callister, Nate Packer from USS Callister, and Nish, the main character from Black Museum.
So then later on, we have a scene where the police are kind of in the field getting ready to approach Chris when he's in his weird hostage standoff situation. And one of the cops says a phrase when a superior officer arrives.
Here comes the hot stepper.
Now, if you're a fan of art music from like the 90s, particularly like reggae, Jamaican music, that might sound familiar as the lyrics to Ini Kamoze's Here Comes the Hot Stepper. No.
Is it not that one?
Na 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 na.
Here comes the hot stepper.
Was I singing like Simply Red?
You've gone Simply Red.
So when they're looking at Chris's Smithereen profile, he hasn't updated it in 3 years, obviously since his fiancée died. Having a look at his actual profile, on his feed, you got Mary PR Lane, who says 2 for £10 meal deal tonight, spared no expense. Been there before, mate.
Yeah.
At Nick Bedwell, which of the new Saito gaming console should I get? Premium or standard? Itchy thumbs.
Always go premium, mate.
Always go the premium. And it's also kind of interesting, on the sidebar, you can see Smithereens' kind of internal monitoring of his account. So, he has never been flagged for any kind of wrong behaviors. By all accounts, his account is just a normal, everyday person with no signs of dangerous behavior.
So when they're trying to keep Chris calm and they put him on hold, they play a playlist, which is called the Stress Buster playlist.
Right, I would have just preferred some nice classical music. There are bangers on this playlist.
Yeah, so the playlist is Can't Take My Eyes Off You,
Yep,
Turn Around,
yep,
Where the Love Lives,
yep.
Can't Fight This Feeling, Kiss from a Rose, banger,
Banger,
Dreams,
banger,
Can't Stop Loving You, Go Your Own Way,
banger.
You're the Inspiration, and Return to Innocence.
I would, again, just prefer maybe some rain sounds.
Yeah, just like calming music, not these bangers.
No.
It's like if you don't want to be
It's gonna get me
dancing,
pumped up.
If you don't want to be dancing when you've got a gun in your hand.
So when they're inside Chris's mum's house, there is a McEwen energy bill. The graphic designer for the series is Erica McEwen.
One of the other things you'll spot in the house is a Fences pizza box.
The pizza company from Crocodile.
So some of the things, we get a look at some of the things that Chris has been posting about. There's some really interesting stuff in
And a
here.
nice little word cloud.
Yeah, Space Fleet.
That's the show from USS Callister that Daly was obsessed with, that he makes his game about.
2014 wipe.
Shout out to Charlie Brooker.
Charlie
Support what
Brooker.
you create.
Pippin his own work. Great stuff. His wipes are always great. GOT.
Game of Thrones,
Game of
mate.
Thrones.
Watch our breakdowns here on GameSpot Universe.
Michael Callow.
Yeah, Michael Callow, PM. Victoria Skillane, again, the character from White Bear. Fences Pizza, loves that pizza.
Between Two Ferns.
It's a great show. It's getting a Netflix special, isn't it?
Yeah.
And hashtag CBB. He's been watching Celebrity Big Brother. All right, now we've got some headlines on UKN. So bee population in serious decline. Environment Minister heads up government team for crisis talks, obviously leading into Hated in the Nation. That's obviously where the granular guys came from, because of the declining bee population.
PM Callow seeks confidence of cabinet. Not sure how that's going to go, mate.
Yeah, he still shouldn't have
Good luck
messed
with
around with that pig. Introducing the cookie, a clone from your data. So the cookie is a kind of a mechanical house for a copy of your consciousness that you can put in it. It featured primarily in White Christmas. You can have it as your own little Alexa-esque personal assistant.
Blackmail victim found dead in car.
I think this is probably going to be Shut Up and Dance, isn't it? And finally, the company recording everything you say. Which one? Is it Google? Is it Amazon? Is it my Facebook ads, even though they swear that they don't? But why would I get an advert for something that I only... Like, I was talking about high-waisted pants, and then I started only getting adverts for high-waisted jeans.
And now she's wearing high-waisted jeans.
And now I am.
Keeping it in the social sphere.
So many bloody hashtags.
We've got trending topics now. And one of them is hashtag cubicle living.
Very similar to what happens in 15 Million Merits.
Hashtag the system.
Fight against it, mate.
Hashtag Saito Netflix.
Again, I think that's probably just a hint at an upcoming episode.
Hashtag Ashley.
Ashley O, playing in Wembley.
Hashtag Gogglebox.
Loves a goggle box, doesn't he?
Hashtag Delete Persona.
Get rid of your social networks, just do it.
Hashtag Tucker.
Could be Tuckersoft or, you know, them moving into TCKR systems.
And hashtag Saint Juniper Strike.
So a little note about Billy Bauer himself. He's clearly been modelled on Jack Dorsey and on Mark Zuckerberg. Silent Retreat kind of does seem like a tech wank thing to do.
Yes.
I kind of like the way that he breaks down during the negotiation. He's like, it wasn't supposed to be this thing. You know, they always have to be optimizing. They have people in charge of keeping your dopamine at certain levels. And it's very similar to like mobile games like Candy Crush. And the way that free-to-play mobile games are optimized.
Yeah, I was getting a very loot box vibe from it. And this is like techniques that they do use on social networks because to gamify. And
they got dopamine targets, and there's nothing I can do to stop it.
And I think finally at the end, you know, just when he says, do you know the guy who runs Persona? And he goes, of course I know Curtis. In terms of Easter eggs, you know, it's just a nice way for it all to come full circle.
He manages to get that mum her daughter's password. But she called vaping undignified, so she can suffer for all I care.
Tamoor!
I said it, I meant it.
So those were all the Easter eggs that we found in Smithereens.
I'm pretty confident that we got all of them, but on the off chance we missed some, and obviously the people that watch this are very smart, so they'll have their own observations. Let us know in the comments below. We've got breakdowns and Easter egg videos on every episode this season. There's 3 episodes, so it's not that much time. But they're heavy episodes with loads to pull out. Make sure you subscribe to GameSpot Universe on YouTube, and also check out GameSpot.com where we'll have loads of content around the latest season of Black Mirror.
So make sure to delete Facebook and Twitter from your phones. We'll see you next time.
Rise up, gamers.